Hey guys, this is Rob here again today. So today we got another box mod review to do today, and this is from a company that is called Double D Box Mods. Okay, and they do not have a website, but they do have a Facebook, so that's the only way you're able to get a hold of them is through Facebook. That is how I did order this box mod, and this box mod is the Double D box mod right here. Okay, now this is a regulated device. It does have the OKR T10 chip inside here. Okay, now this is dual 18650 batteries in series, and it does once again have the OKR T10 chip inside. Now this does not have a voltage screen or anything like that. All it is just got your battery compartment, a potentiometer at the top, a horn button, a 510 connector, and the chip. Okay, so this chip does go from 3.3 volts to 6 volts, and once again this is regulated. And what the OKR T10 chip does is take a higher voltage and it regulates it down to where you need it, to the 6 volts. So you're getting a continuous strong 6 volts if you're running this at 6 volts, or a strong 5 volts if you're running at a 5 volts. Okay, now these box mods right here with the OKR chips and the Raptor chips and stuff, they are for the sub-ohm builders. Okay, now if you're going to do like a 1.2, 1.1, 1.2 all on up, you should use like a DNA 30, because that's going to adjust, the DNA 30 adjusts the voltage up. As for the higher the coil, it'll adjust up. Like a 1.1, 1.2, you're going to get somewhere around something like 6 volts, 5, 6 volts, something like that. Now this is going to take a sub-ohm build, which these here, they do recommend only going down to a 0.5 sub-ohm. Okay, right now I just have a 0.6 in there at 6 watts, or 6 volts. Okay, so a 0.5 build in this thing at 6 volts is going to give you 60 watts. So this does actually go higher than 50 watts. It will actually go to 60 watts. But all in all, if you're gonna, if you go lower than the 0.5 ohm coil build, this thing will do it. This will go down to a 0.2 and give you 170 watts of power. But I do not recommend that, because it will shorten the life of the chip. Okay, it might not ruin it right off the bat, and you might be able, oh, I vaped on this for 2 days. Well, you could probably do it, but it is going to shorten the life of the chip. Or it might not do it and just burn it right up. I have heard of people going down to 0.2 ohm and vaping at 170 watts, and it actually worked for them for a day or so, and then they went back to normal, but they didn't push it continuously like that. So I do believe that it will shorten the life or burn the chip out if you keep going too low of a ohm. So they do recommend 0.5 to be the minimum on this. And once again, these batteries are in series, and they recommend you can use button tops or flat tops. Okay, but what I've noticed is I did have 2 sets of batteries that I dedicated strictly to this, and I had some VTC5s I put in here, flat tops, and then I went with some Orbitronic 30 amp button tops, and I put them in there. And then it does push your connectors on your battery connector. It pushes them to where the flat tops don't seem to work anymore, so I had to kind of pull them back out, pry them a little bit back out to get the VTC5s to fit. So I'm only going to use flat top batteries in this, because the flat top batteries, you can actually get 2600 miles, so they last a lot longer. Okay, now I have used this, and this lasts me at 5 volts, 0.6 coil, dual coil. It has lasted me roughly 9 hours. Okay, that blows my mind, because I've used the DNAs 30s, as you guys know, and they only last me around hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. So this does last me a long time, so I'm really enjoying this. And this produces a hell of a lot of clouds. Okay, now on the flavor, I did have to get, I recommend doing this if you get one, is I am using 100% VG, and on some of my juices, if they weren't a strong flavor, the flavor actually disappeared on there. So I had to get e-liquids that had strong flavors, which I'm using Bluegrass Vapors drizzled cheesecake, blueberry cheesecake right now, and I got 3 flavor shots in this. Okay, and now I'm getting excellent flavor out of this and excellent vapor out of this. Excellent. But with 50 watts, this thing will eat up the juice. I'm telling you. I've only did like 2 hits out of this and I'm already dry. Okay. So let's get a little more juice on this here. This is a heavy hitting freaking thing now. I'm really loving this mod right here. I love doing sub-ohming, and this allows me to sub-ohm and get a nice hot vape. I love my hot vapes, and I love the flavor and the clouds, and this thing right here does it for me. So okay guys, let's dive on down. We'll take a look at the insides of this thing. So okay guys, here it is up close and personal. Now look at the nice airbrush design they got right here. It's got the 2 double D's with little clouds of vapor on there. That's pretty nice. Now this is the black one. They do make this in other colors. They got, I believe they got a black, a blue, an orange, and I think a green one. Okay. So you can check on their Facebook website or web page and check it out and see what colors they got. Now you can see the potentiometer on there. Once again, this goes from 3.3 to 6 volts. Now I do have little marks on there that you can probably see right there, little light marks. That way I can tell I'm all the way over here, I'm 3 volts, 3.3. I come over here, I'm 4. I come over here, I'm 5. And then I got marked for 5.5, and then if I want to go all the way up, I go just a little bit past that last mark, and it takes me up to 6 volts. Okay. Now this is 510 connection only, and there's your 510 connection. That is like that's a brass or copper pin up inside there, and it's nice and sealed. Now this does stick out a little bit, so for the people that don't like that to stick out, just to let you know, it does stick out just a little bit. I'd say about, I don't know, a 1/16, maybe an 1/8 of an inch right there. Okay, put this back on. But everything I put on here pretty much fits right up to the 510 connector. Okay, so it's not, none of my RDAs that I use on this actually stick out where it pushes it away from the connector. Okay, so there's your nice horn button, nice and clicky. Okay, and then let's open it up. It does have magnets, 4 magnets on it, so this is no worrying about screws and screwing it in, and it goes right on nice. Goes right on. It's not that hard to take off. Comes right off. A little bit of effort. Okay, so there's the inside. As you can see, I do have my batteries labeled. This one says 2A, this says 2B, and that because they recommend that if you use these batteries one day and you got 1A over here, 2B over here, the next time you put them in, put your 2B over here and my 2A over here. Okay, or you can label them 1A, 1B, whatever. I had 2 sets because I was using the button tops, so that's the reason why these say 2. The other ones say 1, but I'm not going to use button tops anymore because once again it pushes these little tabs forward, so then your flat tops don't seem to work anymore. Okay, now they did do a real nice job on this. Nice clean wiring. It would have been nice if there was a voltage meter here for some people that like to be able to read their voltage, but for me it doesn't matter. Okay, nice little wire, and these are solid copper wires. They're not stranded wire or nothing. They are solid, and you can see the OKR T10 chip right down there. It is insulated with shrink wrap. Okay, so once again, you can tell this is the top, and the top's down there, so this is in series. Okay, and they also helped you out by putting, if you can see that, this is red. See, so that tells you your top positive part of your battery goes to the red. And then they got one down here also which is red. So if you just remember that, you'll never get them in wrong. Okay? Look at the 510 connection in that thing. That's nice, beefy 510 connector. Man, nice and beefy. And they got good soldering joints. And then there's your potentiometer up there. They got a nice insulated potentiometer up in there. And then your little horn button right there. Nice solid connections. Once again, solid copper wiring. Okay? So it's real nice. As you can see, that is copper wiring. Solid. Okay? So, put the cover. Let's pull this top off so you guys can see. Look at this baby produce. Look at that. Wow. That baby is producing now. Woo-wee. Producing some vapor right there. So okay guys, let's wick this up a little bit, and then we'll bring it, or juice it up, and then we'll bring it back up the top, vape on it, talk about it a little bit more. Okay. So okay guys, that is the review of the Double D box mod, and I did get this for $120, okay, and that was shipped to me. So basically they're selling these box mods for $115. Now that's the cheapest I've seen online so far. I think the Hex Home box mod is like $135, I do believe, and I don't even know if that's shipped. That's just $135. I'm not for sure if shipped or not. But this here is $120 shipped, so it's $115 for the mod and $5 shipped to your house. Okay, now that's what I paid for this thing on Double D Box Mods Facebook. So I recommend, I'm going to put a link in the description so you can go right to their Facebook page and just message them. That's what I did. I just messaged them, asked them if I can get one, and they asked me what color. I just told them I'd take a black one. So that's what they sent me. Okay, so I'm really enjoying this. This is, I don't know, I do a lot of sub-ohming, so in my opinion, I have like DNA 20s, DNA 30s, my own homemade DNA 30. Now them work real well for your higher coils. Okay, one ohm coil or higher, they work real well because it regulates the voltage up. But these, I love sub-ohming, and this box does sub-ohming. I know they do have 100 watt ones. They also have a 120 watt one, and I do believe they have a 200 watt one. But for the price of this, 120 bucks, shipped to your door, 60 watts, it's great. So I do recommend going to their website, checking them out if you're looking for a good sub-ohming box. Okay guys, so that's it for this review. Till next time.